Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I'm Thelma Okoro. The Nigerian Medical Association has condemned remarks stating that the meningitis outbreak ravaging parts of the country is an act of God. President of the association, Mike Ogirima, told journalists at an event to mark the World Health Day in Abuja this. He was responding to an outburst by Governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari. The governor had said the meningitis outbreak was a curse from God due to the high rate of sacrilege in the country. The country has recorded over 338 deaths in the latest meningitis outbreak in the country.
We also condemn the statement ascribed to one of our governors that CSM is a curse from God for people's fornication and adultery. NMA advises that our leaders should stay with their citizens to understand their plight and avoid unnecessary journeys outside the state they seek to govern. Long distance and numerous journeys have been highly associated with sexually transmissible disease and HIV/AIDS infection. CSM is an infection caused by Neisseria meningitis bacteria and rampant with overcrowding and transmissible by air droplets. The NMA condemns in totality the reactive measures by the government on the epidemic, the delayed immunization of the citizens against an infection that is already established. This is ineffective based on the knowledge of the epidemiology of the disease. For immunization to be effective, it must have been given or administered around 3 months to the period of clinical manifestation of that infection. This is what we call the latent period. We want the National Center for Disease Control and other government agencies to be proactive in the approach to our emergencies.
The Nigerian government has warned the general public against paying for meningitis vaccination. Following the outbreak of meningitis in some parts of the country, the federal government made available over 500,000 doses of meningitis vaccines. However, in a statement, it revealed that some health workers and centers were asking people to pay for the vaccine. It advised members of the public to disregard such requests and report those guilty of them to the nearest law enforcement agencies. This current meningitis outbreak is the worst outbreak ever experienced in Nigeria since 2009. The meningitis outbreak started in Zamfara State before it spread to other states like Katsina, Sokoto, Kebbi, Niger, Kano, as well as the capital of Abuja, and just recently, Cross River State. 2 Nigerians have been reportedly killed in a mob attack against foreigners in South Africa. The victims have been identified as Razak Ajawu, an auto mechanic, and Raf Nwachukwu. Nigeria's High Commissioner to South Africa, Martin Scobum, said the incident happened in Polokwane, Limpopo province of the country. He didn't provide further details on the incident. There have been series of xenophobic attacks by South Africans on foreigners, including Nigerians, in the country. The South Africans are accusing the foreigners of taking their jobs and indulging in criminal activities. The federal government has filed an appeal against a court ruling that freed Justice Adeniyi Ademola, his wife Olabowale, and a senior lawyer, Joe Agi, from all corruption charges. A statement by the presidency said the government would appeal the ruling made by Justice Jude Okeke of the Federal High Court in Abuja. The judge had upheld the no-case submission in the corruption case against Justice Ademola. He struck out the 18-count charge against the 3 defendants, saying the prosecution failed to prove any of the allegations leveled against them. A peace meeting has been organized by former President Goodluck Jonathan to find a lasting solution to the leadership crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party. Now, the PDP is currently divided between 2 factions, one led by Ahmed McCarthy, while the other is led by Ali Modu Sheriff. At the meeting, the former president said a committee chaired by him would be set up to find a political solution to the party's crisis. They have already scheduled 2 weeks to submit their recommendations.
for now, we are going to set up the committee. The committee will be chaired by any of us, but we will consult widely and take the decision and may chair the committee. Or if I'm not there, the former Vice President, Sambo, or Senator David Mark may chair that committee. But if I'm around, I will chair the committee. Then the BOT will select 6 people, one per geopolitical zone. Then we have 2 blocks kind of in the party. Each of the blocks will bring 6 persons, one per geopolitical zone. And all our governors will be members, or they will delegate their deputy governors to stand in for them, because they will have to meet almost every other day for about 2 weeks to conclude this matter. The Deputy Senate President will be there, and the Senate Minority Leader will be there to represent the Senate. In the House of Representatives, the Minority Leader and the Minority Whip will be there to represent the House of Rep. We'll consult on both groups and take 2 former governors, one from the north, one from the south. At the same time, we'll consult from both groups and take 2 former ministers, one from the north, one from the south. We'll consult from both groups and take 2 women, one from the north and one from the south. And of course, we'll consult from both groups and take 2 young people among the youth, also well spread. When I set up the committee, you'll be formally informed, and our thinking is that in the next 2 weeks, the committee will, just that the former Vice President is not in the country, but in his absence, the meetings will go on. And within 2 weeks, they will come up with strong recommendations.
Meetings such as this barely end without any drama. Ali Modushev, the chairman of the PDP, staged a walkout with his supporters just minutes after the meeting commenced. He was angry because he was not allowed to deliver his opening remarks at the meeting delivered by former President Goodluck Jonathan. He also vowed not to step down from office as PDP's chairman, a decision that has been strongly opposed by Ekiti State Governor Ayo Fayose.
There is no PDP meeting that will take place under whatever arrangement that I will not open the session as national chairman. Today, I'm the most senior member of this party. I think Governor Dixon made a proposal for reconciliation, and we have accepted. Some people want to deviate from this program to bring agenda which was not part of it. And as national chairman of the party, what I have told you people in my office when Dixon brought the report is the only thing that we have agreed at this moment. And I will not be party for anybody using me to do another program.
You see, you walk out of a meeting does not mean the meeting will still not hold. What we are saying is very simple. Let us all humble ourselves to have a party that people will buy into. There is no big me in this party. All of us must be ready to work together. My belief is that we will try to continue with reconciliation. If we can achieve it before the Supreme Court, we will wait. If not, we will do everything possible to reach out to everybody. Alimadi is 0.01% of the party. You understand? It's only that the court appointed him as chairman over us. And the fact that we have rejected that appointment, we've gone to Supreme Court. We want reconciliation, but not at all costs.
The Nigerian Senate will debate a long-awaited oil industry reform bill after receiving the draft law. This is the latest step in efforts to overhaul the energy sector in Africa's largest economy. The legislation is part of proposed reforms that make up the sprawling petroleum industry bill, which has been in discussion for over a decade and redrafted many times, but is yet to be passed into law. The bill is expected to attempt to crack down on the mismanagement and corruption that has held back the country's energy sector. The Nigerian government aims to legalize illicit oil refineries in the Niger Delta region. This was revealed by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo's office. The government hopes by doing this, it will bring peace to the region and increase crude oil output, which the country relies on heavily. Nigeria's government depends on oil sales for around 2/3 of its revenues. Now, making illegal refineries legal is one of the main demands of community leaders in peace talks with the Nigerian government. Nigeria will increase quality standards for its imported fuel, diesel and kerosene from July 1st, 2017. Health campaigners say this long-awaited change is necessary to protect citizens from toxic fuel. All imported diesel from July 1st can contain a maximum of 50 parts per million sulfur, while gasoline and kerosene can contain a maximum of 150 ppm, according to an Environment Ministry official and information from the Standard Organization of Nigeria, which is the body responsible for setting requirements for imported goods. Nigeria's current import standards are 3,000 parts per million on diesel and 1,000 parts per million on fuel. A federal high court in Lagos has ordered the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to unfreeze the account of former First Lady Patience Jonathan. The said account reportedly contains about $5.9 million. A Lagos High Court last year ordered the freezing of multiple accounts belonging to the former First Lady. The EFCC says the $5.8 million funds in the account were proceeds of crime. A federal high court in Abuja has upheld the bill granted to former National Security Advisor Sambo Dasuki. Dasuki is being charged with unlawful possession of firearms and money laundering by the Nigerian government. Justice Ahmed Mohammed affirmed the bill shortly after taking Dasuki's plea in the amended 7-count charge. Despite being granted bail by various courts in Nigeria, Dasuki remains in the custody of the State Security Service. Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has paid a visit to the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja, the nation's capital. The airport, which was shut down for repairs on March 8, is due to be reopened April 19, 2017. Osinbajo, who was shown around the runway sites where repairs are being carried out, told journalists that he's impressed with the work carried out so far. Officials say after the initial 6 weeks, the Abuja International Airport runway will still require another 18 weeks of upgrade.
Corruption not in my country.
That was a very good business.
Yeah.
The furniture you brought was very perfect.
That's how we roll.
Because let me do you receipts.
Yeah. How much was it again?
1 million naira.
Okay, write 2.5.
No. The deal was for 1 million naira now.
Okay, write 3 million. I'll give you 500.
Oh no, I don't do business like that now. Yeah.
In that case, give me back my check. Let me go and look for someone that understand business.
Take.
Your loss.
But it is only for incorruptible customers. What are you talking?
Now get out.
What kind of this?
You will just die.
No.
You will die.
That is the door. Now get out from here.
Rubbish.
Look, my people, make una only add money for original invoice price. That's not corruption. Say no, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. It's now time for business news with Fidelia.
Thank you, Thelma. The Nigerian government says the country's economy stands to grow by almost 5 billion naira saved from travel discounts. This was the major focus at a workshop organized for ministries, departments, and agencies on flight discounts with Dana Airline Limited. Speaking at the event, Minister of Finance Kemi Adeosun, who was represented by an officer from the ministry, Lara Schreiber, said the workshop is to sensitize the MDAs on moderating the federal government's expenditure on travels. The Nigerian Naira has slid past 400 against the US dollar amid tight dollar supply and series of currency forwards by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Naira was quoted at 405 per dollar on the black market, while it traded at 306.15 on the official market. The Central Bank has sold more than $1 billion on the forward market since February. It has also auctioned $250 million in forward sales this week to boost liquidity and also intervene on the spot market. The Central Bank of Nigeria has said credit default by Nigerian borrowers is still a major economic risk in 2017. Bad loans have soared to their highest level in over 6 years as a recession weighs on consumers in the country. According to a financial stability report by the CBN, banking sector non-performing loans rose to 14% in 2016, up from 5.3% recorded in 2015. The report attributed the deterioration in asset quality to the rising inflation trend, negative GDP growth, and the depreciation of the Naira. Oil prices hit a one-month high on Friday after the U.S. fired missiles at the Syrian government airbase, sending shockwaves through global markets and raising concerns that the conflict could spread in the oil-rich region. Brent crude was up 68 cents at $55.57 a barrel, while U.S. crude rose 70 cents at $52.40 a barrel. Oil market remains oversupplied even with effort led by OPEC to cut supplies to prop up prices. For that on business, more stories coming up. Don't go away.
Corruption not in my country.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. Two of us.
Thank you very much, officer. You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
Yes, so...
Oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no. You don't need to do this. We are only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey. Which came out with this one? I don't understand.
You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. All forms of corruption in the force. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
A roadside bomb has killed 10 people in the southern Somalia. No one has claimed responsibility for the attacks, but residents are blaming Islamist militants who denied planting the bomb. The blast occurred hours after Somalia's president replaced his security chiefs and called on al-Shabaab militants to surrender within 60 days in return for amnesty. A lorry has smashed into a store in central Stockholm, killing at least 3 people. Several people were also injured in the incident, one of the city's major pedestrian streets. Swedish Prime Minister Stefan Löfven said everything was pointed to an act of terrorism. Local media reported one arrest, but police have said no one is being held in connection with the crime. Police have also released a grainy image of a man who was caught on CCTV and is deemed to be a person of interest in the case. Protesters have marched in cities across South Africa, including Cape Town, Durban, and the capital of Pretoria, calling for the removal of President Jacob Zuma. To quell the protests, the police fired rubber bullets and tear gas at some protesters in downtown Johannesburg. Many people were injured as a result of the incident. The demonstrations came after Zuma's sacking of a respected finance minister, which led to the country's credit rating being cut to junk status. The move added pressure to South Africa's already embattled economy. But supporters of Zuma also turned out to defend the president. This week, Zuma survived calls by powerful groups allied to the governing ANC for him to go. He also got the backing of a major decision-making body within the party. He is not due to leave office until 2019 when his second term comes to an end. Moving on to sports stories now, Nigeria's Minister of Sports Solomon Dalong has met with President Muhammadu Buhari to discuss the chances of the Super Eagles to qualify for the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia. Dalong said he also briefed him on other developments in sports. The meeting was held at the presidential villa in Abuja. Now, even though he didn't give details about the meeting, the minister said President Buhari promised to do everything possible to support the sports generally. Super Eagles player Ahmed Musa says he is considering the possibility of taking legal actions a day after he was accused of beating up his wife. The striker insists that the domestic violence reports were untrue. Musa, who joined Leicester City for a club record fee, was quizzed by police in Leicester on suspicion of beating his wife in the early hours of Wednesday morning. He was later released without charges after his own version of the story was backed by the police. The Nigerian Football Federation has also come out to defend the player. His club, Leicester City, say they will take no further actions against him. Chelsea's boss Antonio Conte has dismissed stories linking him with a return to Italy this summer. Reports in the manager's home country had suggested that he was considering a move, with Inter Milan the most likely destination. But Conte says he is very happy at Chelsea. His contract with the club expires in 2 years. That's it on News Now. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Thelma Okoro.